All right, here we go. Section 3 out of Chapter 25. I apologize for the grainy sound quality. This loaner laptop is not as great, but we are making do with it because it's what I've got. So we're moving on here. Section 3, providing important functions. This is a pretty short and easy slide. We're just looking at three objectives here. Why do state governments have a major role in providing important services? What types of services do state and local governments provide? And what do the amount and types of services available to citizens vary greatly from state to state? Um, Also, just another note, kind of a record-keeping note. Um, if I'm talking about something local to Grant County or the state of Nebraska, um, denote that on your notes, however you've chosen to do that, either in a different color or in italics or bold. But make sure you know what is really truly local for us and what is broad brushing how most states or counties conduct business. All right, so here we go. The state government's role. The U.S. Constitution reserves to the states all the powers not expressly delegated to Congress and not specifically denied to the states, which you already knew because we've already talked about the Constitution. State responsibilities are to establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty. I bet you tried to sing that if you were reading. So this chart is, like most charts in these notes, outdated. Um, but in almost every state, education and public welfare dominate the top of the spending um, and do so in a significant way. Um, in the state of Nebraska, public welfare is at the very top of our spending list. Um, we call public welfare the Department of Health and Human Services. They administer programs like WIC and food stamps, Medicaid and Medicare, along with unemployment. The Child Protective Services are located in the Department of Health and Human Services, DHHS. You'll see that on the news or when you're looking at articles. DHHS is our public welfare branch. And then education in the state of Nebraska. The one of the largest functions, and if you combine what we spend on K-12 and what we spend on education beyond high school, education probably is the top above public welfare. However, if you break those down and you take what we spend in K-12 education, it's number two, and number three is what we spend just on the university system alone. And when I'm talking about the university system, I'm talking about the University of Nebraska at Kearney, the University of Nebraska at Lincoln, the University of Nebraska at Omaha, the University of Nebraska Medical Center, and the University of Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture at Curtis. Those five schools and then, of course, university has the extension program. So if you've done 4-H, that's part of public education spending in the state of Nebraska. Um, that dominates the top of our state budget. And then, of course, highways and public safety and housing and parks and recreation and natural resource protection and conservation and development. All of those things add up, but they are significantly smaller expenditures in every state, every single state. All right, variations. State and local governments vary in the amount and types of services they offer according to the degree of urbanization. Physical geography also matters. So, what can be supplied around a city or a state or a county in terms of energy, agricultural resources, transportation networks, and major markets? Um, Take, for example, here in Nebraska, in Grant County, we don't offer as many services because we don't have the financial resources, nor do we really have the need for some of the other services. Public health is a shared service by a multitude of counties, and so we don't need a Grant County Department of Public Health. We share our attorney. We share our county road superintendent. We share a number of different offices that in larger communities are elected. Um, we're also more expensive to get some of these services too because we're simply more remote, further away from major networks. And with that, we're at the Section 3 review. See, I told you this would be fast and easy. What is the major category of state and local spending? Public safety, highways, natural resources, or education? That is kind of a trick question because there are technically two right answers depending on how you interpret what I just told you. So know this, that when I'm asking on a test about the largest expenditure in the state of Nebraska, the answer will be um, welfare. So in this category, it's education because public welfare, the Department of Health and Human Services, isn't an option there. All right, and states' budgets vary according to